Hey, my name is Mike, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up and how to use Google Workspace, which could very well be one of the most powerful tools you can have for your business. I've been using it to manage my businesses for about 6 years now, and I couldn't imagine running a business without it. So starting off, there's two main ways you could set this up. Some people get confused by this, but I will make this as clear as possible. The first way is through Google Workspace themselves, workspace.google.com. I would recommend this if you already have a website and you already have a domain. You will have to connect your domain to this while you're setting it up, but I would not recommend going through this if you don't already have a domain or you don't already have a website. The reason is because if you set up through this and you buy a domain through this, then later you're going to have to connect that over to your website. So it's much easier, in my opinion, for any beginners who don't already have a website to start through Hostinger. It's literally the same price, and you can scroll down and see maybe 1 penny cheaper per month, literally the same price essentially. Then through this, you'll get your domain through Hostinger. It's still setting up Google Workspace, like it's fully licensed. It's the same exact thing, but your domain will be purchased through Hostinger, which then makes it so much easier down the road to make your website through Hostinger and never have to do the technical side of connecting your domain from one thing to another. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go through Hostinger. I have a link down below to both of these, so just follow along, and the rest of the video will be the same, just this first step is going to be different. Of course, I'll have timestamps, so just skip a little bit ahead if you already have a domain. So there are 3 plan options. For most beginners, I think business starter is going to be fine. The main differences are going to be the storage you get, the participants in a video meeting. If you're like a company of 125, then yeah, it makes sense to go up to the next plan up. And of course, you will have the ability to have appointment booking pages. Really, for me, the storage is the main one, the main difference between these. But as this tutorial, I'm just going to go with the cheapest one, $6 per month, and I will choose this plan right here. By default, it is 1 month. We can choose if we want to add more than one. I'm going to say continue. And by the way, I'll show you how to add extra users later on in the video. And now we can create an account. So I'm going to use my personal email to sign up for the account here. This is going to be how you manage your account. So I'll enter my email address, enter a password, click on continue. Then of course, enter your billing information. All right. And then once you submit your payment, we can just say get started. So now we can choose our domain that we're going to be using for this professional email and later someday maybe for our website. So I have a new tab in this link I'll have down below in the description as well. This is just a kind of a more easy to use domain finder. It's through Hostinger still, but it's better than this when you're trying to kind of brainstorm what your domain could be. So let's just say I want to be Karate Island, or the Karate Island, and we'll say search, and then it'll tell me like what is available. So thekarateisland.com is available. It's $5 a year for the first year. After that, $17 a year. So like I said, really not that expensive. You're not going to find that basically any cheaper anywhere else on the internet. But if it's not available for some reason, you can always scroll down and they have other options. So like karatezone.org, or just scroll down further and they have the same thing, but different endings. So sometimes if .com's not available, .co or .so or .io or whatever, there's plenty of other endings that are still available for a lot of things out there. Hopefully for your business, .com is available. So I'm going to go with thekarateisland.com. We'll say next step. We can enter our contact details. Then we can say next step again. And now we can actually choose our username here. So I'm just going to be Mike at the Karate Island. I'm going to paste a password that I made and we'll say finish registration. There we go. And now we have this set up. It'll say right there and we can say continue. If you ever want to change your plan or add users, you'll come back to this page right here. So hpanel.hostinger.com and then go down to emails, and you can either get additional accounts for any other users on your team. But if you also want to upgrade your account, maybe you need more storage, you need a better license for that, you can go and upgrade that on the top right there. So we have this, it's active. If I click on it, it'll bring us over to this page, and we can then sign in. Just redirects us over to Google. And that's what I really like about Google Workspace, is that you're signing into YouTube, you're signing into Gmail, everything else is using this email. So it is effectively a Google account, and therefore you can use this for a lot of logins pretty much everywhere, including things that say sign in with Gmail. You can use your Google Workspace email to sign in that way as well. So now we have this. So Mike, say Mike at thekarateisland.com. We'll say enter, and then I can enter my password, say next, and that will sign me into Gmail right here. So I can say I understand, accept terms of service, and that will redirect you over to your Google admin console. So the next step, you might have noticed we haven't actually purchased this domain yet. So we have access to the console, but if you click on any of the apps on the top right, we can't actually go to them because we need to verify that we own that domain. So let's go back to the first tab, Hostinger right here, and you can go down to domains. We'll go to domain portfolio, or rather get new domain. Either way, you can click on get a new domain, and we want to make sure that we get the Karate Island facebook.com. Search for it right there, $5 for their first year. After that, 17, like I said, I'm going to say buy now. You can buy it for 1 year, 2 years, whatever. The longer you buy it, they do give you a nice little promo for the first year, but I'm just gonna go for 1 year because again, this is just a tutorial. We have a card on file, so I can complete the payment method. And by the way, if you know you're going to get a website, you could actually do that right now. You could get a website, and a lot of times it comes with the domain for the first year, but for $10, I'm getting this domain, and then I can figure out a website in the future if I ever want to, and it's going to be very easy to use this, again, within Hostinger because we own that domain. All right, so now we have this domain. By the way, it's important that you go and check your email and verify your domain, so there's gonna be a link to just accept it. So once you click that link in your email, it should bring you to a page that looks like this. Going back to that other tab, if we check the status, it should turn green, we're good, the domain is active, and now we should be all good to go. So go back to that second tab. And here we have, again, Google Admin Console, so admin.google.com. You should see something that says finish setting up admin console. If you don't see that, it may be up in the top right if you click on the little 9-dot array, Google Workspace Setup, but I'm going to click on it over here. So setting up admin console, we just need to verify that we own this domain. So let's say get started. The domain host is Hostinger. It already knows that. I can say continue. So now follow these steps exactly. This is going to require a little bit of clicking, copying, and pasting, but it's really not hard to do. So you can see the first thing, the TXT record. So we want to see TXT value right here. We're going to copy this, then go back to our domain in Hostinger. So domain overview, you can see right there. Go down to DNS/name servers. Now we're going to add a record. We're going to click on the type. This is going to be TXT. We can paste the value and we can add record. First one's done. That's great. Next up, going back to the workspace, we can copy the CNAME record. So first we have name. Let's copy that. Click on a little copy right there. We'll go over to the domain on Hostinger. We can click the drop down, find CNAME, and then here we can paste the name right there. Don't say add record yet. Go back to the domain setup. Click on target. We're gonna copy the target. Go back here, we can now paste the target, paste target, and we can add the record. Just make sure you delete the little @ symbol before the name. I didn't mean to forget that. Say add record, and now that is also added successfully. So if we go back to the domain setup, we can click this and say confirm. We did that, we'll say confirm. It will take a couple minutes to go and verify that, make sure that it's connected. That way you're not just setting up like mike@facebook.com without actually owning Facebook. That's what they're trying to do, is verify that you actually own that domain. Once you have it, which we do, we're good. We can then say explore Google Workspace. So now we're all set up.